Hello, good morning, and I expect you're wondering why I've got a smile on my face. EV, electric vehicles, are going to have to pay road tax. You all thought you greenies were going to get away with it, didn't you? Yeah. It was only a matter of time. They let you have it for free to get you to buy an electric car. You buy an electric car, the depreciation on it is going to be horrendous. You're never going to get your money back from it. It's the most expensive motoring you can do. If you can charge it up at home, it's going to be cheaper than if you got to charge up when you go out. When you go out and use public charging points, it's going to cost you more. You know, you can't make this up. It costs you more in some places to recharge an electric car than it does to fill a car up with petrol. And it doesn't go as far. It's all been a scam. Anyway, they're going to tax and put road tax on EVs. Now, I said this on Facebook, and the greenies and leftists had a go at me saying, no, they're not. No. Okay. I'm going to let Lee. Now, Lee is called MacMaster on YouTube. And he's got an electric car, he's got an EV, he's got a big posh Porsche one that he calls a milk float. Anyway, Lee, MacMaster, please explain what this letter is you've got from the government.
Right, let's get down to business with this letter. Now, first things first, I found out about the legislation. The government have now brought in a legislation that states that any dealership now that has chargers has to accept credit and debit card, and also has to have 24-hour support for it. So it makes it more difficult for them to do. So they just said, well, we just won't offer it to other basically the people that own Mercedes or, the car brands. So it narrows it down now. So a lot of dealerships, not just Porsche, but Mercedes, BMW, whoever, now will only have their chargers for their cars. And that narrows the choice of chargers down in the UK. So well done, government. Brilliant idea yet again, you complete buffoons. You've now narrowed it down and made it more difficult to charge an electric car. Anyway, so there you go, that's changed. Now, this letter, here we go. I am going to open this letter. The letter that I've had from the government, this letter from the government has basically said that they've been lying all along. It proves that they have been lying. Are you ready for this? From the Driver and Vehicle Licensing Agency. The honeymoon is over, my friends. Upcoming changes to electric vehicle tax. Now, we don't know what the electric vehicle tax will be yet, they haven't told us, because it's also going to be different for different price cars. Dear Mr. Davey, we are writing to let you know that as the registered keeper of the above electric vehicle, from April the 1st, 2025, you will need to pay vehicle tax in the same way as existing drivers of petrol and diesel cars. Oh dear, the vehicle tax will apply to all new and existing electric cars, vans and motorcycles. You do not need to do anything now. When the time comes to tax your electric vehicle on or after the 1st of April 2025, your vehicle tax will be calculated automatically and you'll receive a reminder. You'll then be able to tax it online, by phone or at a post office. Not many post offices left though. Electric vehicle tax rates. The rate of vehicle tax for your electric vehicle will depend on when the vehicle was first registered and what type of vehicle it is, car, motorcycle or van. More information on the vehicle tax changes for electric vehicles is available on gov.uk. Now, let me just say this. Initially, the government said no tax on electric vehicles, then they brought it in. They've also said it's cheaper to charge at home. Let me just tell you this, and I'm putting this out there now, right, for the evangelists. You're charging your car at home and you're not paying duty on petrol or diesel. They're going to find a way to get that back from you. Whether it be, let me think about it, road charges. They'll charge you for using roads. They'll charge you for using roads per mile. You'll end up paying per mile. That's, in my opinion, is what will happen. The honeymoon is over. Wake up. The government lied, which is no surprise really, because that's what they do, isn't it? All along. So from next year, they've got to pay, all those evangelists have got to pay road tax. And the more expensive the car, the more expensive your road tax will be. So there we go.
So as you see, MacMaster has the letter from the DVLA telling him he's got to pay road tax. Is the EV dream over? If you've got an EV, you try and sell it. You try and part exchange it. What are you going to get? My mate's, one of my customers in the gunsmith's workshop, one of my customers is a car dealer. He buys second-hand cars, does them up, and then puts them on the forecourt and sells them. And he's doing reasonably well. Now, I said to him, I said, you know, have you got any second-hand EV cars, you know, reasonably cheap? He said, I won't touch them. He said, I got to pay peanuts for them and I can't sell them. You see, I had two on the parking lot and they're still there. Nobody wants second-hand vehicles or second-hand EVs. Oh, I said, why is that? He said, because they don't know how long the battery's going to last. And to replace the battery is in excess of £10,000. Could be £10,000 for a small car, but a large car, like MacMaster's Porsche, he wanted to go and get see what a price was for a new battery for his. It was £40,000. But it was a Porsche, you know. Can we not get it in to our thick heads that all this green EV crap is a con? It's a scam. You have been brainwashed if you think EVs are going to save the planet. I did a video last week with a graph. I've got the graph here. Here. I'm going to put this up on my wall. That's CO2 in the atmosphere. And up here at the top, that's 140,000 years ago. And it's fallen down to here. At the moment, we're at around about 300 parts per million. The red line is 150 parts per million. And plants stop growing. Should we really be doing carbon capture? All this green stuff is a con. Now, who benefits from it? Solar panels are made in China. The wind turbines are made in China. So they're a corporate for plugging and promoting all this going green stuff. Is Ed Miliband an agent for the Conservative government? I wouldn't say that. That's controversial. That's a MacMaster sort of thing that he says, you know, oh, that's controversial. You know, I couldn't link Ed Miliband to China, but I can. because of the policies he puts forward. This net zero, could it be that a country who sees us as an enemy, Russia maybe, or Russia and China maybe, and the BRICS countries, because they've got together, you've got Brazil, India, Russia, China. And they've got together and they call themselves the BRICS. And they're doing trade deals to each other. Could it be that they're helping to fund or influence or help to promote the green issue and the zero net policy? One way to take a country down. China did it. I think the philosophers in China would go in and set up disinformation to disrupt a town before the army moved in, so they could take it over without a fight, without a war. Is this what we're seeing in front of our eyes? Are our enemies helping to fund a doctrine that is going to make our economy collapse and make us worse off? Which is what using EVs and all this going green and net zero is going to do. It's worth thinking about. You know, I've got no, I can't show you the proof. Here it is. But it's just something that's niggling in the back of my mind. I could be right. Then we really are in the sugar. I would have said shit, but I'm on YouTube. Anyway. Ian, Somerset News Network. Bye bye.